everyone, and welcome back to a welcome guide to visiting Korea. I'm Kayla. I'm so glad you're here with me today as we explore another must-see spot in Korea that's quickly winning the hearts of both locals and travelers. Whether you're planning your first visit or coming back for more, I'm here to help you discover the places that go beyond the typical tourist trail, and today's feature is a true hidden gem. Following the content I am presenting, we will now move on to the content presented by two traveler freelance reporters based on their own reporting on the ground. Let's dive in. Discovering Mangwon Market, Seoul's hidden gem beyond the tourist trail. If you've been captivated by the bustling food stalls of Gwangjang Market after watching its mouth-watering scenes on Netflix, you're not alone. For many international visitors, Gwangjang has become a must-see, a bucket list destination in Korea, packed with sizzling bindirik, mung bean pancakes, chewy mayak gimbap, and vibrant scenes of ajumas proudly preparing traditional dishes. Yet, as popularity soared, so did concerns. Visitors and locals alike have voiced frustrations over rising prices, overcrowded alleys, and, most notably, rude treatment from a handful of vendors, an issue that has drawn media attention and public criticism. While efforts have been made to rectify these problems, some travelers are now turning their gaze to lesser-known, more laid-back markets that offer equally satisfying, and often more affordable, experiences. Enter Mangwon Market, a hidden gem quietly rising in popularity among savvy travelers and locals alike. A local favorite steps into the spotlight. Nestled in the western part of Seoul near the trendy Mangwon and Hapjeong neighborhoods, Mangwon Market offers the perfect balance of old and new, tradition and innovation. It's not flashy, it's not famous, yet, but that's exactly what makes it so refreshing. Mangwon Market remains true to its roots, a humble, community-centered marketplace where quality food, kindness, and daily necessities are sold with a smile. For years, it has served as a reliable spot for locals to shop for fresh produce, meats, and side dishes. But more recently, word of mouth and a few social media spotlights have revealed the market's charms to a broader audience. And unlike more tourist-heavy markets, the vendors here aren't catering to cameras, they're just doing what they've always done, offering delicious food and genuine hospitality at honest prices. What makes Mangwon Market special? Affordable, authentic street food. One of Mangwon's strongest draws is the diversity of its food offerings, all at wallet-friendly prices. From crispy fried chicken skewers to spicy tteokbokki, from hotteok filled with seeds and sugar to creamy croquettes, the selection is wide and deeply satisfying. Many vendors have been serving the same family recipes for decades, and newcomers bring their own twists with Korean fusion snacks that appeal to younger palates. Warm, welcoming atmosphere. Unlike larger, tourist-saturated markets where the hustle can sometimes turn hostile, Mangwon has retained a neighborhood feel. Vendors are often kind and patient, even with visitors who don't speak Korean. Don't be surprised if you're offered a free taste, a smile, or even a quick Korean language lesson while you munch on your snack. The slower pace here allows for real interactions, a breath of fresh air for travelers seeking something more meaningful than just a photo op. Fusion of tradition and trendiness. The market is just steps away from Mangwon-dong's hip cafe streets and vintage boutiques. This makes it ideal for a laid-back afternoon itinerary, snack at the market, sip a latte in a minimalist cafe, browse through vinyl shops or indie bookstores, and enjoy a stroll along the Han River just 10 minutes away on foot. It's where everyday sealites live and breathe, and for many visitors, that authenticity is exactly what they're looking for. Clean and easily accessible. Mangwon Market is well-maintained and compact, making it easy to navigate even during busy hours. Unlike some of the larger markets where the chaos can be overwhelming, Mangwon offers a more manageable and pleasant experience. It's also conveniently located near Mangwon Station, Line 6, making it a breeze to access from anywhere in Seoul. What to try at Mangwon Market? Kimchi croquette, a crispy fried ball filled with spicy kimchi and creamy potato. A perfect blend of crunch and flavor. Spicy tteokbokki, not too sweet, not too bland, the balance here hits just right. Hotteok, unlike the typical syrup-only version, Mangwon's famous hotteok includes sunflower seeds and crushed peanuts for extra texture. Fish cake skewers, iamuk, affordable, warm, and comforting, especially during the chilly seasons. Handmade kimbap, freshly rolled and stuffed with generous fillings, this is the ultimate Korean grab-and-go meal. Don't forget to check out the homemade banchan, side dish, stalls as well. Many vendors sell ready-to-eat marinated vegetables, seasoned seaweed, and fermented delicacies in takeaway containers, perfect for trying a variety of flavors without the need to dine in. Tips for foreign visitors. Cash is king. While some stalls do accept credit cards or mobile pay, having a bit of Korean won on hand is recommended for smoother transactions. Go off-peak. Try to visit during late mornings or early afternoons on weekdays to avoid crowds and get the freshest food. Learn a few phrases, a simple "Annyeonghaseyo," hello, or "Masisyo." It's delicious, goes a long way in building rapport with vendors. Be curious, but respectful, feel free to explore and ask questions, but also remember that this is a working market for local residents. Keep things polite and appreciative. Why Mangwon over Gwangjang? Let's be clear, Gwangjang Market is still worth a visit for its cinematic flair and historical significance. But if you've already been there, or you're seeking something more grounded and local, Mangwon Market is your answer. It's a place where you can eat like a local, walk without pushing through selfie sticks, and still experience the beauty of Korean food culture without inflated prices or the pressure of performative service. In an age where travelers are seeking more than just Instagrammable backdrops, Mangwon Market delivers substance over spectacle.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging headfirst into a stack of sources that really give us a vivid snapshot of a bustling place.
Yeah, we're looking at Mangwon Market in Seoul, and it's through the eyes of some, well, very enthusiastic visitors in a video source we have.
Exactly. This isn't some dry guidebook rundown.
No, definitely not. It feels more like an immersive journey, into the sights, sounds, and maybe especially the tastes of this market.
That's it. And our mission here is pretty simple. We want to navigate this whole sensory experience they had, pull out the most delicious nuggets of information, the surprises, the key insights.
So you, the listener, can really get a feel for what makes Mangwon Market special and get it fast.
Basically, yeah. We want you to walk away feeling like you've almost tasted it yourself.
Finding the heart of the market's energy, both culinary and, well, cultural, too, by digging into what these visitors actually experienced.
Okay, then, let's unpack this. Let's jump right into the crowd and all that deliciousness.
Sounds good.
So, setting the scene. The video starts, it's Thursday lunchtime, and right away you get this sense of, wow, it's lively.
Yeah, surprisingly crowded, they mention, for a weekday. Which is interesting.
It is. And what really struck me was the immediate description they gave it. They called it having the highest level of difficulty.
Right, but not like difficult to get around or anything.
No, not geographically difficult.
The challenge, as they put it, was purely because there are just so many things to eat, like an overwhelming amount of choice.
It's kind of a delicious dilemma, isn't it? It really underlines how food-centric this market is.
Totally. And it even got them thinking, apparently, about, maybe starting a business there. That tells you something about the vibe.
That energy, yeah. That perceived opportunity just seems to jump off the screen. It really speaks to the vitality of the place.
You can almost feel that buzz they picked up on.
Now, the first specific place they mentioned stopping, though maybe just briefly at first, is a roll cutlet place.
Ah, yes. The one opened by a chef that one of the visitors actually knew. Famous for its roll cutlets, apparently.
Exactly. We'll definitely circle back to that because they do end up trying it later.
Right. Before that, though, they described just sort of looking around, noticing little details like different kinds of peppers.
Yeah, contrasting Oriental versus Western varieties, which is a neat little observation.
Yeah.
But they seem to decide pretty quickly to move on, clearly focused on the main mission, eating.
Laser focus.
And then, here's where it gets really interesting, kind of unexpected.
Oh, yeah.
They just bump into someone, literally run into a subscriber who lives right there and watches their content every day.
No way. That's amazing. Talk about a local connection.
Right. It's such a great illustration of the market as like a real community hub. And this local, well, they provided some fantastic insights.
I bet. On-the-spot recommendations are the best. And what did they say about living there?
The best part. Their personal experience. They've gained weight since moving nearby.
Haha. Okay, that's the most relatable testimonial ever for a food market. The abundance is real.
A hazard of the location, I guess.
Yeah.
And this subscriber was super helpful, sharing their absolute top recommendations for Mangwon.
Okay, let's hear them. This is like local intel gold.
So their top three were a bean noodle restaurant, a perilla kalduktsu place, which actually one of the visitors already knew about or had heard of,
Oh, interesting. Okay, what else?
and a specific chicken Gwangjang spot. They also mentioned, sort of offhand, a really famous fried food place that usually has a long line.
See, that's fantastic. It's that mix of like well-known spots and maybe some specific vendor recommendations that you wouldn't find otherwise.
Exactly. And it didn't stop there. Later on, they meet a character designer who's doing work for the market.
Another local connection. Wow.
Yeah, and this person adds more tips. Tteok galbi, tempura, and specifically fried red pepper, making a point about how big it is.
Fried red pepper. Okay. Anything else?
Seasoned skate was also mentioned by this second person. So you're starting to build this picture of must-try items from different local perspectives, definitely layering the knowledge. Okay, enough setup. Let's get to the food they actually ate.
Finally. Right. The first thing tasted was that chicken Gwangjang recommended by the subscriber. Q's chicken Gwangjang it was called.
And the description makes your mouth water. They said it was crunchy on the outside, but really moist inside, and specifically praised for having lots of meat. The enthusiasm sounds pretty high. They called it the best. That immediate reaction,
It speaks volumes, and they didn't just have a taste.
No way. They committed, bought a big box with 40,000 won, which is, around $30 US? A fair amount.
That's serious. And they even got a little extra.
Yeah, a service portion, specifically noted as being for students, which is just such a lovely traditional market kind of touch, isn't it?
It really is. That whole interaction, buying in bulk immediately, it just shows how good that first bite must have been.
Okay, moving from chicken to another fried recommendation. The fried red pepper.
Right, the one the designer mentioned. How did they describe it?
Visually, it's apparently 3 large fried peppers, presented quite neatly.
And the taste, that's the crucial part.
They said the inside was soft and savory, contrasting with the crunchy pepper outside. But here's the key thing, as the source explains.
Yeah.
These aren't super hot peppers themselves. The spiciness, if any, comes from the filling inside the pepper.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. So it's more about the texture of the pepper and the flavor of the filling. Did they try different kinds?
They did. Original ink cheese, which sounds intriguing and seasoned.
Ink cheese, wow. And they even suggested pairings.
Get this. Original with machinelli, that sweet milky rice wine, ink cheese with regular wine, and the seasoned one with soju.
Okay, suggesting specific alcohol pairings for market stall fried food. That's taking it to another level. It really points to the quality.
It does. They also mentioned the jangwoljumul seasoning method for the seasoned one, like how it's carefully mixed by hand. Has a nice detail.
It's interesting, using a non-fermented base like pepper allows for all these variations, doesn't it?
Definitely seems more versatile. Okay, next up, seed hotdek. That sweet-filled pancake.
A classic. How was this version?
Described as exploded but delicious. So maybe not perfectly neat, but packed with flavor. Also called substantial. And they loved the stall itself, calling the house amazing.
Perfect market food description, taste over perfect looks. And wasn't there a fun story with this one?
Yes, this is great. They had this impromptu flash sale. The visitors actually helped the owner sell some.
Really? How did that happen?
They just jumped in selling 3 pieces for 4,000 won, which was 500 won cheaper than usual. It's a spontaneous market moment.
That's fantastic. And it connects to the owner's history, right?
Exactly. Her family has apparently been selling fabric in the market for 40 years, and they still have a blanket shop nearby. It just paints this picture of deep community roots.
Those little anecdotes really bring the market to life, don't they? It's not just food stalls, it's people's histories.
Totally. Okay, moving on to some other market staples. Tteokbokki and fish cake hot bar.
Ah, the essentials. Can't go wrong there.
Right. But even here, the source captures these little details. Like, there was apparently a lighthearted debate about whether you use 1 skewer or 2 for the tteokbokki.
Aha, the important questions in life. And the taste of the tteokbokki.
Wonderfully evocative description. It tastes old, but like in the best, most nostalgic way. Similar to tteokbokki in front of the old school. Pure comfort food.
I can almost taste it. And the fish cake.
They highlighted the perilla leaf fish cake, noting that a lot of perilla leaves were added. So good flavor, not skimping.
Generous with the perilla, nice. And of course, they mentioned the vital connection.
Between the fish cake and the tteokbokki soup for dipping.
An unbreakable bond.
Universal truth right there.
Okay, last stop in this section. Donuts. Had to happen. Both the raw yeast kind and the glutinous rice kind.
And did they mention that feeling?
Oh, yeah. That familiar, sweet, slightly dry, clogging sensation you sometimes get eating them. It's relatable. It really is. And it led to the classic debate. What's the best drink to cut through it? Siche, the sweet rice drink, or yogurt?
They showed different preferences, highlighting that divide. It's personal taste, isn't it?
Totally. And the donuts themselves. Any detailed descriptions?
Yes. The raw donut was fluffy, soft, and felt like it had moved on to modernity. Maybe a lighter texture than old school ones.
Interesting take. And the glutinous rice one?
That was described as chewy, and they specifically noted the use of good red beans for the filling. Quality ingredients matter.
Definitely. Did they mention drinking milk with them? Or how they ate them?
Yep, milk came up. And there was a mention of a particular, maybe slightly messy way of eating the raw donuts described in the video source.
It all just paints this picture, doesn't it? The textures, the pairings, even the little eating rituals people have with these simple market treats.
It really does. Okay, let's circle back now to one of those unique finds mentioned earlier, the seasoned skate.
Ah, yes, Hongdae. This is interesting because, well, usually skate has that very strong, pungent, fermented aroma and taste. It can be challenging for some people.
Right, like ammonia. But the source makes a key distinction about this version they found.
Okay, what's the difference?
It's seasoned after being fermented only once in Magaoli. Then it's mixed with vegetables. It's not the heavily multi-stage fermented kind you often see.
Ah, so that's the insight. Because it's not as intensely fermented.
Exactly. It crucially lacks that powerful, sort of nose-stinging sensation that puts many people off skate.
Wow, that completely flips the script on skate. It makes a dish that's normally pretty polarizing and suddenly sound accessible.
Totally. It removes that big barrier, but still offers a unique flavor. They even floated the idea of eating it with kalguksu, the noodle soup.
That's a really clever adaptation. Makes it much more approachable. Speaking of clever things in the market, let's revisit the roll cutlet.
Yes. The place run by the chef they knew. This time they actually try one. The jalapeno ham and cheese roll cutlet.
Sounds pretty decadent for a market stall. What was the reaction?
Genuine surprise, it seems, at finding this level of quality there. And the taste description. Pure, unadulterated enthusiasm.
Like what?
Jalapeno too good, they called it, a combination of two of our favorite things. And then dropped the ultimate Korean slang praise. JMT.
Ah, John Met Tang, basically meaning freaking delicious.
Exactly. The source even describes a really fun, over-the-top, exaggerated reaction in the video to how good it was, like performing their delight.
That's great. It just shows you can find some seriously tasty, maybe unexpected things in these market settings.
For sure. And now, for something completely different, but apparently quite famous there, marshmallow ice cream.
Marshmallow ice cream. Okay, how does that work?
It's pretty cool, actually. They take marshmallows, roast them over a fire right there in the stall,
Torched marshmallows.
and then add them straight onto the ice cream.
Oh, wow. So you get that contrast.
Exactly. Described as crispy on the outside from the toasting, but cool on the inside from the ice cream. An instant textural and temperature delight.
That sounds amazing. Did they mention adding anything else?
Yeah, adding dalgona, that crunchy honeycomb candy, was mentioned as an option too. Double the texture.
And the price? Was it expensive?
Surprisingly reasonable. Only 5,001. They even called it the highlight of their eating adventure before the big finale, like a perfect course.
A sweet interlude before the main event, which brings us
to that grand finale, strategically saved for last. Kalguksu, handmade noodle soup.
And not just any kalguksu place, right? This was Hongdae kalguksu.
The big one. The source throws some serious weight behind it. Calls it the signboard of Mangwon Market, the most famous. Says it has the highest search volume. This is clearly the spot.
A destination within the destination. So what's the basic kalguksu like?
It's made with hand-picked noodle, so handmade in what they describe as a rich anchovy broth. But the key detail is about the broth's texture. It's hazy, kind of cloudy. And that's because they boil the noodles directly in the soup, not separately.
Ah, so the starch from the noodles dissolves into the broth.
Exactly, which gives it this unique quality they described as sweet and sweet, maybe meaning savory sweet, and definitely thick. It's different from a clear broth.
Interesting technique, and they also tried a perilla seed version.
Yes, the perilla seed kalguksu. Apparently quite different, described as very savory and also thick. One of the visitors even detected a richness that made them wonder if, like, butter might have been added somehow.
Wow, that sounds intensely flavorful. What about the noodles themselves?
High praise for the handmade noodles, described as being kneaded tightly, properly rolled out with a rolling pin, and cut with a knife the traditional way.
So they hold up well.
Yeah, they maintain their chewiness even after being softened a bit for handling, which they noted is actually a hard balance to strike.
Yeah.
Good elasticity.
There was apparently even a really striking, maybe slightly odd analogy used in the video to describe that unique texture, suggests they were memorable.
Definitely sounds like it. And the price, still affordable.
Very. Just 5,001. And of course the essential self-serve kimchi bar alongside it.
Can't have kalguksu without kimchi. Did they mention the spicy version, where you add sauce?
They did touch on that. Seems there were contrasting preferences. One person liked adding the spicy sauce, the other preferred the pure broth flavor, which is pretty common.
Makes sense. And there was one last, very important cautionary note.
Uh-oh. What was it?
If you go on an eating marathon, like they did beforehand, you might really struggle to finish the portion size here.
Because the portions are generous.
Very generous. Especially if, as one of them hilariously realized only after eating most of it, you accidentally ordered a double serving without even noticing.
That perfectly illustrates both the generosity of the market vendors and that highest level of difficulty they talked about at the start. Too much good food.
Wow. Yeah, reflecting on this whole deep dive through their experience, they really weren't kidding about trying to have, like, 10 meals in one visit.
The sheer amount and variety they covered is kind of staggering. Famous noodles, incredible fried chicken, unique desserts, the accessible skate dish. It's immense.
It really highlights just how much culinary ground is packed into one market like Mangwon.
And, acknowledging how genuinely hard it was just to eat that much. It really drives home the point. The market's difficulty isn't getting lost. It's resisting temptation, sensory overload in the best way.
So we've navigated this amazing, delicious maze of Mangwon Market, thanks to these sources. We've uncovered the iconic kalguksu, the must-try chicken gwangjang, that unique marshmallow ice cream, the cleverly prepared seasoned skate. So much.
It's just fascinating to see how a market like this operates today. It's clearly not just a place to buy groceries. It's a dynamic culinary destination offering such diverse, often high-quality, sometimes really innovative food all in one spot, and often at really good prices.
It feels like a real hub, doesn't it? Community, history, food evolution, all mixed together.
Definitely. Which leads to a bigger thought, maybe.
Yeah.
What does this deep dive into Mangwon Market really reveal about the power of these traditional food markets? How do they manage to adapt and thrive and stay so vital as community hubs and culinary hotspots in our fast-changing world?
That's a great question. Are they primarily about preserving culinary tradition? Or are they actually spaces for genuine food innovation?
Or maybe, as Mangwon seems to suggest, they're really this fascinating blend of both, constantly evolving while holding on to their roots.
Definitely something to chew on until our next deep dive.